All right. I don't know. Oh, let me get all of it ready. Let's see. I smoke two joints in the morning.
Great, she's your enemy.
I
She's a
smoke
wife.
two
I
joints.
consider Lyndon Johnson my enemy.
Agree she's your enemy.
She's a wife of Lyndon Johnson. I consider Lyndon Johnson my enemy.
And she's the wife of your enemy.
Right.
You consider all white people your enemy?
Most of them.
Most of them. Where do you make exceptions?
There are some good white people in this country. In fact, I had some of my best friends are white.
I see.
Would you like to dance with me? We're doing the concert song. How you do that?
As I don't curse him out, and as long as I don't threaten him, I can say what I want. Am I correct? Yes, sir. We sick and tired of that nigga there.
All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Um, let me have some fun. Take off my headphones. I'm gonna have some fun for a second. Now, if anybody watches me for any time, I mostly wear a hat. Like my father is 82 years old and he's got dementia, but he walks around with a hat still. And it's now I've been bald basically since I was 4 or 5 years old. My mom would just zoom my hair off. Other than the Afro period, I've always wore my hair close or bald. So I don't mind being bald. I just like wearing hats. But it just shows you how people don't pay attention to you that are even close to you and they see you all the time. Now, if anybody watches my regular caps, like my wool caps, they know I pretty much only wear Kango. Now, my dress hats are Dobbs. I'm trying to think, Stephen Land. I got a couple Stephen Land hats. Um, but most of my caps are Kangos. I think I have two Big Apple caps, or maybe three Big Apple hats that was made. I'd have to get them out to see. But most of my hats are Kangos. So let me show you the shit my mother bought me for Christmas. She bought me this Boston Scully contender. Now, I have never in my life bought a fucking hat like this. I mean, this is like the ugliest type of hat ever. It's small, small bill. Now, when you kind of cock it, it has a little more flavor to it. But yeah, this is some bullshit. And this shit was like 50 bucks. Now, I will say, I wear it around the house just to be funny. I won't wear that motherfucker nowhere, though. You can bet I will not wear that motherfucker anywhere. I will not leave the house ever wearing that hat. So that's just some funny shit. Hey, Dr. Sinister, thank you. Your bitches have 10 minutes off. That's funny. That's the first thing I say when I wake up is, where's my bitches? That's what the first thing a man said. He said the first two words a man said is, or the first two sentences he said was, where the fuck am I? And how do I get to Detroit? And then the next thing he said is, where's my bitches at? Like that in a row. So, well, this is really my full moon thing. The only other celebrity death I could really talk about was Desmond, the Fred Sanford dude. Uh, I think I talked about O'Hara when she passed, but the Fred Sanford, Demont, I don't know. I think I wrote it in here. One of these motherfuckers. But the dude who played on he played on um gosh, him and the one dude Ron, the dude who played in Barney Miller, Ron Glass. Oh yeah, Demont Wilson. Yeah, Demont Wilson. That was a Grammy thing. No doubt that was a Grammy thing. Even though he wasn't in the music business, still kind of acting Grammys. And so I haven't really been following. I have not really been following any. I haven't been seeing any sports deaths. Let's see. So I haven't been really following. I watched the games to see if any sports deaths has come up, because this is the time of year we always seem to find where we have sports deaths. Uh, oh, this is funny. He was Jane Doe in the R. Kelly and Famous tape. Now I'm here today as Roshana. Let's see what Roshana has to say. She's the one that got, you know, the bell, blah blah blah. Translate. What does it say? Music writer, family, blah blah blah. Past 20 has lived with the painful aftermath of her name lingering in public domain without her consent, going so far as to shorten her name to Chan when meeting new acquaintances. As a teenager, they had her privacy ripped away when she was thrust in the national spotlight, not for her musical talent, but for the perversion of a man deemed a musical genius. Landfair became known as a 14-year-old girl in a sickening R. Kelly video documenting a counter of child pornography filmed by a man she called her godfather. Wow. So, if y'all never knew, this is the infamous girl that I want to pee on you. So, I guess this is her today, you know. So, that's some debauchery. That's some debauchery, y'all. Let's see, though. Let's see. Yeah, I didn't come across any deaths. Oh shit, Dion. That's right. Dion's new shoes coming out. And I'm kind of turned away from being a sneakerhead. I don't know. I don't know. I guess I just kind of lost. I like shoes. I like clothes, but I don't know. I don't know that I need any more sneakers. I really don't. There's so much other places to put money in. Where's a fucking shoe? Huh. They don't really show it. No, 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 no. They don't really show it. I guess another Dion is coming out. Let's see. I was just trying to see if any more deaths came. And it doesn't look like it. Well, just hold on. Don't worry. It'll be some. Cardi B ruthless message to an star boyfriend just days before the Super Bowl. Okay. Don't care. He was invited to Grammys, tribute to his late father. Oh, okay. What is he? Detroit Red Wings red and white custom Air Jordan 13s. Oh, okay. Don't care about that. See, you look at shoes, and that's all they keep showing you. So it doesn't look like there's at this point, any major deaths. So Lamont was pretty healthy. That's a shock. Well, when it's time to pay the piper, there's a price for fame. There's definitely a price for fame. And as Zach Hubbard and many others look at it, you have to pay back, and you have to pay it back when they say, not just naturally, because we know a few years ago they kept Al Jarreau alive. Al Jarreau was dying for a few years, and they brought Al Jarreau. They kept him alive until again, right before the Grammys. But it was reported like a year before that last Grammy, before he died, that he wasn't gonna make it. And some kind of way he made it for another year or two, another year or two. So we know they keep them alive. So that's just the price of fame. Um, and it's really, it's like once you drink from the cup, as I say, there's really no turning back. You know, um, I think like Zach Hubbard was right on when he said that when Vanity died, he said telling Prince he better beware. And sure enough, they took Prince away. They took Michael Jackson, people that were powerful in the industry. But again, both of them had, and that's what they do. Just like when you watch him tries to show you that they go after your weakness. Now, I've said I know people. I've been here. I've been coming here since 86. I've been coming to Minneapolis since 86. I lived here 95, 96. No, 94, 95. So, everybody and his mama was working for Prince. I've seen Prince numerous times live and know people that was partying him, and now that he's dead and them non-disclosures that people had to sign back then, they're telling. And it's like um the lady that put together my wedding used to do Kane and shit with Prince. So Prince was, him and Michael Jackson, I think, were 2 or 3 years older than me. And so that was what, it's like once you got famous, and I mean, you see this when Lynn Bias dies. Once you got famous, Kane was the famous man's drug. Kane was the famous man's drug going from really it started in the early 70s. But by the time you hit the 80s and all that money that was flowing, Reagan and them bringing all that cane in, uh, it was made to show that that's what rich people do. You get a lot of money, you buy you some cane, you give your friends cane. So, but we see, the great. I've talked about this many times. Um, the great generation. A lot of them people. You look at a lot of them Motown artists. A lot of them dudes was dying in their 50s. We got some of them dudes. Felipe Wynn died on stage in his 40s. Johnny Guitar Watson died on stage in Japan. I mean, a lot of these dudes, I mean, it just and think of the ones like Eddie Kendricks, that beautiful voice he had. He was a constant cigarette smoker. He had to get one of his lungs removed from smoking cigarettes. And he did cocaine too. So, I mean, people didn't realize that you have to take care of yourself. And when you travel and you on the road like that, you know how terrible they probably ate? They didn't eat good, not drinking water. I mean, I think I talked about this before about Wilt Chamberlain. Maybe I brought this up last time, but I'll bring this up again. Like Wilt Chamberlain drank during the game, he drank a 6 pack of fucking 7 Up. All that sugar. And Wilt Chamberlain died at 63 of heart condition. One of the best in shape men forever. I mean, this man like stayed in shape, but again, not drinking enough water. He said, I think he got poisoned one time, so he wouldn't drink water. He only trusted cans that was closed because I'm pretty sure he got poisoned before a game one time in his life, so he wouldn't drink water. And that's why a lot of those people look so old when they was young. Again, not drinking water. And that was the time where the water was better for you. You could drink water out of your faucet. The water wasn't terrible. Now they tell you don't drink the water out of your faucet. It's okay to shower in it, but don't drink it. You can brush your teeth in it, but don't drink it on a regular basis because it's not good for you. And if I've told many times before, the water that we're drinking is water from a system that's over 100 years old. I mean, the system. I mean, I work for the water department. I know when the most systems is put in. I mean, in Minneapolis, they just basically one of their major pump stations. They just redid because all this shit was done in the early 1900s. So they've got to change a lot of this stuff around. But the basic thing that's called water is just the same old stuff that keeps going. Granted, every now and then you get a little rainwater mixed in with it through the storm sewers. because they do still use some of that storm sewer stuff too, and they fix that up as well. So so it's not good. I saw that Juju Watkins is suing USC. She's suing them for $50 million, saying that her knee was hurt and they kept putting pressure on her to play. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if that's true, but I told the story the other day where, again, injuries and stuff. Hey, Jamar, thanks for coming. I appreciate it. It's not hard for them to convince you to play, and you love to play, and then you put on a brace and you play. I should show you. Yeah, let me show you. They're right here. Let me show you my knee braces. All right, like the problem that about me playing pickleball, the one thing I don't like is everything I got to do to play pickleball. I have the nerve braces right here, and then I put small sleeves over those that copper fit. I have to wear because I tore my right groin in the 90s. So I have to wear a groin there. I have to wear another groin here, and then I wear compression tights. But on my knees, because I've really been having a lot of issues with my patellas on both knees. My patellas really been screaming. So I had to get some more support. And this is the big heavy motherfucker I wear now. It's got full hinge on both sides. Sturdy. But what's funny is I think this is the new one. Um, the company I bought it from, this strap broke. And these are 250 each. This strap broke. And so they had to give me another. Let me keep the other one. So I might get it fixed. I don't know. But yeah, these was like 250 each. And, taxes. But it's like I gotta wear these. And I gotta wear these under the tights. I wear these under the tights. Now I don't know what I'm gonna do in the summertime because yesterday I played in my short. I've got some compression shorts. I played in those instead of the full tights. I just like the tights because it covers these motherfuckers up. But I can fully. It doesn't slow me down, but I wear these big heavy motherfuckers. But it doesn't slow me down, and it does give me the support. Now my shoulder, I've got a shoulder harness, and this is where it's kind of getting me. My shoulders harness is a really good one. It almost like if you can imagine the dudes that shoot their bow and arrows, it kind of looks like one of those. And it's pretty steady. But the problem I'm having is it doesn't like a ball comes high and it's meant to. Let me see. I need to go this way. Okay. All right. I don't know. Was my phone? Was it? Maybe it was. But I don't need it right now. Oh no, it wasn't the phone. I dropped something. But anyway. What it does is I've come to realize I go to swing at a high ball, and I'm hitting the ball with the top of my racket, which makes the ball just go in the air instead of getting this part of the racket. And what I've come to realize is my arm isn't, I'm not able to reach my arm high enough because I've got this thing that's stopping me from reaching my arm. So I've kind of got to wait till the ball comes down a little bit more and try to get the meat of the racket on it. So, you know. And as I said before, last weekend here was the indoor finals. And the place where they held the indoor finals is where I played for about 2.5 hours yesterday. Because we can reserve the gym. It has 11 pickleball courts. The Lifetime, I can go to almost all the Lifetimes in the city. But this Lifetime has um, 11 pickleball courts, and 11 tennis courts. It's that big. And it's full facility, weights, classes you can take, but and actually it's closer. It's probably closer than my regular one. My regular one only has a gym. This one has two gyms. It has two gyms. Mine only has one gym where we play pickleball in. And on a pickleball service, the ball doesn't move as fast. When we play in the gym, the ball moves much faster, much quicker. So it was cool. I've got a great group of friends that we've played for the last 2 years. We're gonna play all summer, so and they all live near me. One of my partners, I think he said he's going to Hawaii, so he's not going to play with us for a while. But it's like I played every day, but I didn't play today. I played every day last week, but I didn't play. No, I didn't play. Let me take that back. I didn't play Friday, and I didn't play today, but I played every day last week. Um, and so I play out of 7 days, I played five. So, and I do have to rest. But today my nephew turned 21, so we had to go to his party. And I really didn't have any plans on playing anyway. I think I could have played from 4 to 6 today, maybe. So, but I'm gonna see if I can play tomorrow. Because I kind of got I guess I missed some uh, reservation dates, so I can't reserve a spot until next week. But I'm gonna go in there around noon to see if anybody's still hanging around playing, just to play. So if not, then I'll play Tuesday morning and Tuesday evening. So I'm in shape. It's funny, like I play with my son in the summer, and he actually got tired. I don't get tired. I play pickleball, and I just don't get tired. I mean, I'm in shape, I don't get tired playing pickleball. So, but all those braces and stuff is what it takes to for me to be well. I don't know if you guys noticed in the game tonight, and this is something I'd never picked up on before in pro basketball. I made a short video about it, but Lucas, or no, yeah, Lucas pass to LeBron almost looked manipulated. I mean, the way it hit him perfectly in stride. And I watched the flight of the ball, and it just didn't seem like a natural ball because it hit him like right here, and he threw it from like he was like on the side of the basket, like on the baseline. He was a few feet from the baseline, and he threw a perfect pass to the other baseline that hit the guy in the chest. So let's see if I can bring it up. Probably not. Not saving it like it should. But it just didn't seem natural to me. Didn't seem natural at all. And so that's kind of why I showed it. Let me see. Find it. Oh. Let's see. I'm right here. See if I did a good enough job on it. 'Cause I haven't even watched it. Sometimes I just be getting this shit out. But you be the judge. Oh, you know what? I didn't make a video of that. That's right. I'm sorry. I didn't make a video. This was just debauchery. I made that video because really you could just see how one mistake and then they do the same thing at the other. And it was just a charge. I didn't make a video of that. But I, yeah, I did. I should have made a video, and I did. I didn't make a video about it. But if anybody watched that, you saw the game, you saw the pass. It looked so unnatural. Lobo, if you ever catch this, let me know what you think about it because that pass looked very, very unnatural. So, uh, I think. Let me see. I'm not gonna be on very long. Uh, I don't know. It's just a couple things that it's a trip. So, I always talk about. I keep scooting. I need to be this way. All right, keep scooting back over. Not centered. Okay. But it's funny. I always talk about Marduk and how Marduk wants to be famous in these day and time. You know, he's one of the Anunnaki deities that you see, and it's like, can it be a god that it wants to be famous? You dig what I'm saying? It's like, can it be a god, but yet it still wants to be famous? Isn't that some crazy shit? Like, you're a god, but yet you still want to be famous. You still want the glory. You still want the applause. You still want the attention. I mean, does that sound like a god to you that still would want that? Or is this its disciples wanting to push it to remind people of this? Or is that what we're seeing? Because we see in the horns everywhere. There's a new movie called Goat. Now remember, the first time we heard the word in a person called goat was Earl Goat. Remember that? The Goat movie? His name was Earl Goat, so people called him Goat because his last name was Goat. And not long after that, LL Cool J, greatest of all time. Something that was a brother's nickname, Earl Goat. That's who called was his original nickname was Goat. And I think I knew a couple people that we just called Goat. It was just a nickname. But now, I mean, look at all the cartoons you see. They can't wait. Like even the little boy that got taken. He had the little horns where if you pull on the tie, the little bunny horns stand up. Do you think that really means bunny horns? I mean, that's how much this thing wants to be recognized. Watch any kind of animation. You're gonna see something with horns or straight up horns. That's what gets me about anime. It's like anime relies so much on American occult. Like my son, Community Splash Channel. That's something I'd ask him. I'd had him on live years ago. Maybe it was my other channel, not this channel, maybe the one they took away. And did an interview, and it's like, why so much Western occult in anime? And I think the answer comes to that's the price that it pays for them to do work in America. They've got to do all this Western occult, the one eye, the all seeing eye. Oh shit. No, that had a screw on it. Must have came off. So I don't know. You can't get away with it. Now they got to make a movie, and the movie is a small goat that can jump over everybody. I mean, it's just how much they want to ingrain this in you, and I just find it kind of amazing. I really do. I find it amazing that this so-called deity wants to be famous. It's like being God ain't good enough because it is them people's God. Let's look at what they saying, a jealous God. No God but me. Yada boeth that emerge. It's all the same character, all the same thing. It's just got a different name for it, but it's all the same thing. So was this really a God or just an entity that had some kind of skills? Now, I told the thing many times of how I had recreated myself, being the Monkey King, stuck in that mountain house, able to regenerate myself and society. But it appears like society was like never created. It's like it always just went, and people just always knew what to do. I mean, I imagine it was a lot of trial and error. Because I mean, when you look at the whole society, like how did the lions just wake up hungry and had to go eat something? Probably. Did the bugs? Did they know they had to go get nectar? Probably. So did anybody really or anything really have to start this? Nothing really had to start it. It was already started, already the continuation. I mean, again, this the most the only I believe. No, I don't believe in anything, but it appears like wood is the most scarce thing in the universe, and we're the only planet that has it. One time, this was all wood. This was wood world. This was tree world. We had trees that went up into the sky, up into the atmosphere. And of course, we know what the Europeans did. I mean, that's what people forget is like not only did the Europeans go to war against the people, they went to war against the land, they went to war against the animals. I mean, they killed almost all the trees. That's why the trees ain't very old. And I've talked about this many times. Because these people, that's, like a virus. That's what the Matrix, who you think the Matrix is talking about when they call it the people a virus? There's really only one being on this planet that you can really look at as being a virus that destroys its own environment for profit. I mean, I showed that little video of Mad Men where they know they have products that's killing people, and they have to be forced to stop feeding it to people. They have to be forced to stop feeding this stuff to people. Cigarettes, they gave them a one-time $1 billion fine. They gave them Lorax, Dr. Seuss. Yeah, exactly, exactly, exactly. And that's what they did. I mean, that's where the Dust Bowl comes from. Yeah, even though men like my great grandfather knew you have to rotate your crops, you have to have these trees to protect, to protect your soil, hold your soil in. Our great grandfather went to Michigan State in the early 1900s. Yeah, I think he graduated in 8 or 9. 1908 or 1909. I think it was called, I think Michigan State was called Michigan Agriculture College at the time. My great grandfather. So he knew, he studied it. He knew the science. He could grow a pear and an apple on the same tree. He knew how to slice them and make one side grow pears, the other side grow apples. And his father was, a natural healer, uh, American Indian. Mother, American Indian and something. Not sure. But so there's a culture of people that loved the land, respected the land, and used everything of the land. When you look at Eastern woodland culture, you see that they didn't cut down trees to build homes. They went in the woods and found dead trees, because there was plenty of them. Dead trees. They didn't have to cut down anything new. They just go through there and collect the dead trees, and there was enough dead trees to build all these homes. That's why me and my wife get in arguments. And one of my good friends, she's a Lakota. But um, one thing that we have to definitely look at is just look at how the people lived on both coasts. And really, if we look at the Mississippi people, the Mississippians, how they lived, they wasn't going around building teepees. They was building cribs. They was building cribs. You get into Shapiro Mounds. These people were still binding their heads. They were still binding their heads, just like the Oman and the Mayan. Not the Mexicanos, which is later called the Aztecs, which really was a European made up name because they got tired of saying Mexicano all the time. So they made up a new name to call them. And that's some shit. They made up the word Aztec. Aztec is not what they call themselves. They get it from Aztlan, where they say they came from, and more likely they came from either Texas or Arizona. And so we look at the people, they're supposedly in the plains, and they're just like the Mongolians. And they even tell you they come from that part of the country, world. Which again, people traveled, I mean, Turtle Gang he did a very good breakdown how people was always traveling around the world. There was always a means. You can go to the short, like, I've talked about many times, the short route going to Greenland, Iceland, that's a shorter way, and it's an easier way to go. And we know that that trip can be made. So it was made. So that story about the land bridge is just people was always traveling. And so when those people came, we can't really say. But the people that the pilgrims met was not the people in the middle of the country, in Montana, Minnesota. They wasn't them people. The people they met on the coast was a whole different type of people. They would what you would consider now melanated people. Not mongoloid melanated, but melanated people. later be called colored Negro, but that's what they found. That's who lived on the coast going all the way up, even into Canada. It's all the same kind of people. That's why those sage people, again, the way they look now and the way they looked then, it's not totally different, but again, assimilation. But that is one tribe we can say we know they came out of New York, and they was beat out, beat out, beat out, beat out, beat out. And that's what this country is, you know. And now you got immigrants running the country trying to tell people that really have more right to be here than anybody. You got a German immigrant leading the country with an immigrant wife whose movie that, what did they say, 2.6 million was the real gross so far? 2.6 million Thursday, Friday. Well, yeah, Thursday, Friday, was it? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 2.6 million worldwide. So that movie tanked. They talked about in Australia, they sold 3 total tickets in the whole country, which is, again, a movie of propaganda. And this lady got 28 million. That's not a star, had never made a movie before, never made a documentary. I mean, she made, allegedly, she made porn movies, is what they said. That's allegedly, I don't know. But now, so it's wild times. It's wild times. It's a big contradiction. It's a big contradiction because they ain't going after them mugs up in Boston. They're not going after none of them Irish immigrants. But it is interesting that you you've got European Latinos passing, going after other Latinos. That is interesting. And then somebody took a picture of the Somalian dude, probably ex-Somalian police or army. Might be the dude got out of prison that shot that lady when he was a police here. Now I think about it, might have even been him. I don't know. I don't know. But I'll say this. Was out to the Mall of America today, and I was telling my wife, see, there's one thing that other power respects in America, and that's bread. That's bread. This country respects bread. Now, I broke down years ago how much they make. Like today on a Sunday, it was probably 70,000 people because the parking lot was pretty full. So I would say, I don't think it was 100,000, but I would just generally say today was about 75,000 people. Now you would think out of 75, because there's always 35,000 people there, almost all the time. Generally daily traffic in the Mall of America is roughly about 35,000. So Fridays, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday is kind of the peak days where it can be up to 100,000 people out there. And today, I look at, like, when I see, I park in handicap. So when I look at handicap was full, I'm like, okay, it's a bunch of folks. So I would just roughly say 75,000 people. So you would think ICE would be all out there. All right. You would think they would be all out there. Not out there. Because again, one thing power respects is other power. And that's a lot of money out there. Hundreds of millions of dollars at stake that somebody with power holds. With somebody with power holds, and like, you're not fucking our money up there. We got another mall. This mall has a Montclair in it. It has a Rolex, not just a watch place, but a Rolex watch player, Breitling watch place, Gucci. It has Gucci. It has Louis Vuitton. I mean, this store has a whole wing is just high-end stores. That's the Southdale Mall. Now they're trying to revive this mall, and there's a little more money out there. And you think ICE is out there? You think they trying to fuck that money up? Hey, Mac V, what's happening? Holy moly, donut shop. Hey, thank you for joining, Mac V. So you see the business side of it. Like the south side of town, there's small little businesses there, a bunch of restaurants where Floyd got killed in that area. And that area is interesting because at one time you would go from, how was it back then? Africans, no, it would be natives, Africans, Latinos, then it would be black folks and poor white folks. And the prostitutes was all on Lake Street. Like you wanted to pick up a lady in the 90s, that's where you would go. You would go over to Lake Street and you'd pick up, if you just wanted to pick somebody off the street, that's where you would go. So that's kind of where Floyd and where these other two people got killed, was in that general area of the South Side. And I think I told the story the other day. I wanted to go buy some albums, and it's like going blocks away or even a couple miles away from where all that protesting and shit's going on. It's like, yeah, I'm not fucking with it. And I'm glad I didn't go to the game when Golden State came, because I saw Curry didn't even play. So I was like, yeah, I want to go to the game just to see that motherfucker sit on the bench. So they don't, real power is not fuck with. It's not fuck with. Now we have smaller malls around here that is, pretty busy as themselves. Um, the Hood Mall, somebody got shot and they kind of tore it down. Matter of fact, not only did they tear the Hood Mall down, I think they tore the Hood Mall down to build Walmart. So they tore the Hood Mall down. They built the Walmart. Now the Walmart ain't even there. They took the Walmart out. So the black folks ain't even got a Walmart on their side of town. They've got to go quite a ways to even go to a Walmart because they tore it down. Bunch of high V's though. So for food, like Walmart doesn't have good meat. I just say that they got everything else, but their meat is lacking. I would never buy, I get most of my meat from a High V or Cub or Costco. Better selection of meats. Walmart really, even Target, their meat is not a great selection of meat either. I don't think so. So, how long I've been going? Okay, I ain't gonna go on too long tonight. Let me see if I got any more points to make. Yeah, I think that was all I really had. I'm gonna come back later in the week and give my pick. Because right now it's still too early. I think I'm gonna have a little more time to make my pick. Where the hell did I write I wrote something tonight. Where did I write it? Huh. Must have used some other page to write this shit. 1311. Huh. I don't know where I put it. Industrial capacity to kill. That's what we live in. We live in a country that has the industrial capacity to kill. I've got to go rewind. All good. Didn't get the notification. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, thank you. I swear I wrote something down, but guess not. But I was going to talk about one more thing. Oh, and I didn't bring. That's okay. I got this for Christmas from my wife's aunt. Crystal stones, healing stones, and I guess maybe I can find and to make my point. Okay. So like there's a way to manifest that you can help yourself, help your chances to manifest. Now, one thing that Wicca teaches you that I disagree with for melanated folks, because we have an older system that we go by instead of copying the European system. Because what the Europeans want to do is it's pretty much, like if you understand, I've talked before, when the Europeans would go places, they say, let me see your gods. And what they would start doing is find ways to lock the God's powers. That's why when you look at most sigils, you can see the locks in them if you know what you're looking at. Most sigils have locks in them. You even look in the, the sigil of the Goetias. You've got to look at, because if you can really get into the sigil and know how to, take your consciousness into the sigil, you can see and try to start following the energy. And you can see every twist and turn, you'll come into a lock. Because that's what the Christians did. They went over these things and put locks on them. So you have to understand how to counter the locks. My brother's really excellent at doing that. He knows how to counter those locks. He's made some of his own sigils. And so that's why really, that's where they get to circling things. Because the circle is meant to bound or bind. And so here in the Americas, what the elders teach us is a totally different system is what the elders teach. They don't teach that. And what they teach you is if you go into South America and you look at first, you go into the Omen or Omic or Omeka Kabbalah or the Omekas, Omic or Omen is the precise name to say it. You looked at all their mounds, they on top of their mounds they had altars. And all the altars were basically set up like terrace. And so everything about the American way is putting the terrace on top of the pyramid. Now, if you look at the technology we gave the rest of the world, we didn't give them the full way to use them. Because they use them like it's inside. Like you see these people get these copper pyramids. And again, that's a type of lock. The precise way to use the pyramidal energy is to be on top of it. And we, one of the things that one of the Rastamen told me is, one of the ways to become a priest is you had to be able to levitate. So you can imagine a person could levitate over one of the pyramids and the energy you could store and build up just levitating and being on top of that pyramid. The Tree of Life is a movie. And they show you, he keeps going back in time, back in clips of the South American. And they make a European woman the Tree of Life, of course. And, it goes into, Cortez wearing the white feathers, thinking it's the white god, which again, that's something Europeans made. But my point is, we use the pyramidal energy of a terrace pyramid. And so this book talks about crystal grids. And so, I guess I can look it up, but I can just show the picture just as easy. But this is lepidolite, and this is a type of marble. It's a mica. It's a type of mica. I do have a polished one, but it is a zollite, so it has lithium in it. And so what I do is I create a terrace in my shower. It's in every corner of my shower, and it's all over my bathroom. So when I take a shower, I'm actually like putting my body and myself into a type of, again, terrace. And I know a shower is very, you don't think about it, but I used to pray in my showers. But once I learned that I didn't pray enough, but still, it is a place where I want all energy kept out, and I'm using this terrace to renew myself. I use it to renew myself. I have that lithium all around me. That lithium is all in the bathroom, and that's a way to recharge myself through the lithium. But I use the terrace to do that. Now, with that said, here they go. Now, when you meditate, it is very important to do a couple different things. Is you want protection, and a terrace is a perfect way to keep things out. What was that book, that movie, The Black Book, where he locked the house, he put boundaries around the house, and he told her some fucked up shit was going to happen to her when she left. I think it was called The Black Book. And again, you can't break those barriers. And so what I do is I use a leptolite, or these are apophyllite. I use these apophyllite crystals. And it's interesting. I know I'm kind of going off, but you can gaze with these too. And it's interesting. You gaze in these kind of sideways. you kind of sideways gaze in these. It's like almost like looking in a mirror, but you kind of sideways gaze in these, and it how can I say this? Like you can really kind of get into this pyramid kind of stuff too, because there is an energy that you can use being in the pyramid. I'm not saying there's not, because there is energy, but especially this kind of way. You know, you can really use this to ward off a lot of stuff too. And it's um, like you can work with this. If you really feel something's fucking with you, you can kind of go into this pyramid and get the shit off you because the shit can't get out of it. You learn to move in and out. So, but I put these on the terrace. I put these, I square myself with these. And then I put a big piece in the middle. I put a big piece in the middle, and that closes the terrace. And I take my wand. Where is it at? And I take my wand. This is a gift I call from the mother tree. And I activate each pyramid. So once I sit and I got everything set, and I activate it. And then I stay inside of everything I need, like my singing bowl back behind me, all that's inside the terrace. Now I have, like right now, I have black crystals all around me. Like when you have internet and stuff, you need this sugar. This stuff should be around you. Matter of fact, you need this around your internet. This kind of stuff, Form Runner, he did a nice breakdown of that. And so I activate it. I activate everything. Now, one thing that also can be used is quartz. Quartz is another great amplifier. So once I get everything activated, the last thing I activate are these. And these are excellent amplifier. It picks up the energy. It picks up the terrace. And then I use a piece of what do you call that? Old wood, the wood that turns into rocks, fossilized wood. I use that as a grounding, And so these are the kind of ways that you can make sure that nothing's coming in. Because when you blow your third eye open, you really, it's so easy for something to come at you. I mean, it really is. It's like I had to do a cleanse the other day because I was in the bathroom. I just happened to I was listening to music, my vibration very high, and I just saw this entity coming at me. I was like, oh, okay. So I came up here and did a sound bath because I caught it. I was like, oh, okay. I came up here and did a sound bath and ran it out of here. But it was like funny because a lot of times you won't even see things like that. Something is going to come through you. Or even try to occupy. I mean, a lot of people, we can't even perceive that kind of thing. So when you do blow your third eye open, you definitely want some type of protection around you. And then there's all the gases that you start creating, and the higher, you go into the reds, and the reds is the lower vibration, but as you go on, you rise yourself up, you start going into the purple, and once you're in the purple, that's what's moving you through space-time. Purple is like almost your vehicle. Now, I can't say what color you live in. You got to find that out for yourself. But just know when you're in the purple, it's moving you. Purple is going to move you through space-time. And if you're vibrating high enough and where you're going to go to and where you're from, if it's accepting you, then it'll open up for you. And a lot of times it opens up in small little pockets. It shows you the fractals. And then sometimes you get the full picture, the full fractal picture. But you'll start seeing your fractals that you create. But that's another thing about wearing diamonds. Diamonds are amplifiers as well. It amplifies your personality. It amplifies your persona. And it's funny, like you see the Mosinite. It's funny when you look at the pro players, you can tell the fake from the real because it was one brother from the Cowboys had some real shit on it. His shit was like taking pictures. His shit was so shiny. And you can see the other dudes where it ain't really, it ain't bouncing off the lights. His shit, like you could not, it looked like it was pictures taken around his neck. His shit was so shiny. So you knew that was real. The others doesn't do that. The Mosinite is not quite as alive as especially high quality diamonds. So that was interesting when I saw that brother had real stuff on. Because a lot of times you see people that they don't wear real stuff out. People don't get robbed and stuff, so. And so that's how I get into the meditative state, you know. Um, and there's no set time, but to me, that's the safest way. And again, you have to find out what crystals work for you and your personality. It's like I've said many times, it's like everything in your house should make you feel better. All your furniture, all your pictures, all the colors, everything in this room I've picked out at one time or the another. So I put in care and putting everything here. And some of these crystals, I may go years without actively working with them. But yet, when I, let me give it out, but when I activate myself, I ask them that let them participate too. I try to activate this whole room. I was like, I need everything to wake up, everything to work with me. Because I've chosen all these things and not by accident. All these things have meant the time I'm around here, all this stuff is meant to be with me. And so all this stuff works to make me better. Yeah, I haven't got on the full moon thing. I'm gonna get into it. I'm gonna let her, I'm gonna do the one divineness. I'm gonna let her do her thing, because so when I get done rapping, I'll let her do her thing. It's going to be about 20 minutes for the people that want to do the meditation, and which I think is a solid meditation. She, again, I lost track with her. I had to look at what year that video was. It's at least from, I want to say I dated her pre-COVID, so 19, 20, early 20 before COVID we dated. So yeah. Yeah, I dated her before COVID, so 19 going into 20, maybe sometime. So it's probably from the summer of 19, I'm guessing, when we did it. So it's aged. I look a lot younger. I'm looking at myself. I'm younger, so I haven't done it. Like even like with the full moon, the energies are 4 days before, 4 days after, and it is a great time to manifest. I guess right now I was listening to one person talking about the energies, and that's like I think Mars is one of the dominant planets right now. She was saying, all this kind of war energy going around with Mars being dominant. So if you have felt something like that, that is why. Uh, and it's like the ebb and flow of water is the same way the moon reacts with us. That flow, like the ocean flow. It's kind of that flow with us with the moon. Right now, I've been heavily, getting into to Jupiter right now because Jupiter's going to be in my sky for the next 6, 7 months. And by the time the summer comes, I'm really going to be prepared. I'm going to get a big telescope and everything because again, you can be invited into these planets. I mean, I've told this story before. I was so overconfident that I could just take my consciousness and go to Jupiter. And it's like I would barely be dust. It's like, here I am, flying through the universe, and I'm seeing this thing, and it's like, yeah, I would barely be dust. I mean, we just can't comprehend it. So it's the other way that you go, but it's like, it's so much bigger than what you can even imagine. That really you would almost be like dust. It would be so big, you know. So yeah, it would be so much bigger. And that's the stories they're not telling you. They could fly on these little tin things somewhere and it's just gonna fit just like it fits here. That's not quite how it works, but You got to experience that for yourself. But yeah, I'm gonna let her come on. I think I got everything I wanted to say. I swear, gosh. Oh, I put the dates in here. Okay, what did I want to put? Yeah, I talked about that. I will pass this on. Yeah, this was, this is changing the subject, but the Atlantic Ocean was once called the Ethiopian Ocean. So technically, the slave trade should have been called the Trans-Ethiopian slave trade. That's what Brother Cheeto Paul came up with. So you can find this Trans-Ethiopian. So the Atlantic Ocean wasn't always called the Atlantic Ocean. It was called it was called the Ethiopian Ocean at one point. So I wanted to share that. And I'll come back later, probably Wednesday, Thursday, to do my pick. And I will let the video go now. I'll put her video on and let that play. And those that want to do, those that want to do it, you can do it. Those that don't, you can drop off, and I appreciate it. I'll be back Wednesday to talk about sports. But I just wanted to get into a little bit of spirituality. Because I know one of my friends, she's like, you need to get two channels, one for sports and one for spirituality. But one thing you got to understand about me is sports is spiritual. That's where the Europeans corrupted it. Everything, all our ball games, they corrupted from them, taking the ball back and thinking they invented soccer when they didn't invent soccer. So is this going? It is going. Okay. Okay. So when they really didn't, they just took something that we was doing and they took it over there and they called it their own thing. But they corrupted all the sports, you know. And I mean, really, the main corrupter of sports is the Jewish faith people because they think they own basketball and they didn't create basketball. Basketball was created in South America with all the ball games. All the ball games were created in South America, especially when we're talking about a bound ball, rubber ball, cork ball, any kind of ball, all started in the Americas. All of them. And these other countries copied the ball games. But the Jewish faith people think they own basketball. They really do. I mean, the Harlem Globetrotters started by a Jewish faith guy. Most of the early pro leagues, Jewish faith people had their hands in it. The brothers had the Barnstorm, the Chicago Five, which turned into the Globetrotters. They had barnstorming teams that had nothing to do with Jewish faith people. They were just going around doing their own games. That's why when Kyrie said what he said and had nothing to say about them other than he called them cave people. You remember that? That's really what he did. He called them cave people, which, again, we do know that the history that we know is all full of lies. We know that melanated people once dominated Europe, and I'm not talking about the Moors. The Moors only went so far. The Moors never dominated. The Moors were mainly in Spain, and it wasn't even called Argo. I think it was called. It had different names then. Granada, Topolita, not Toledo, but Topolito, I think it's called. So that's where the Moors were. The Moors weren't all up through Europe. Islam got defeated by what is his name? Not Charlemagne, but I can't think of it. I'm an old man right now. So when we look into the Black Death, that was when, the black mobility, the black folks that lived in Europe was pretty much wiped out. And not just Europe, Asia, but a lot of melanated people got wiped out. And then the Renaissance was going painting over these pictures. Russia's one of the few ones that didn't paint over their pictures. But in Europe, we've got these pictures where we know there's other pictures, so we know that they're one of the biggest liars about what we've been taught and what we've been regimented. And it's like white slavery. They don't want to tell you that there was just as much white slavery in the South as it was melanated slavery. They don't want to tell you that, though. I mean, do you know how disregarded poor Europeans were in the South during slavery? I mean, think about the movie Gone with the Wind. The first woman to win a Academy Award. I can't think of her name, but remember, she tells the girl, Butterfly McQueen. She tells Butterfly McQueen, "Don't talk to that poor white trash." So that's showing you in the 30s how slaves were above poor white trash. Poor white trash. And they want to call them that they were, well, what do they call them? The overseers was none but slaves. They just don't want to tell you they were slaves, but they were slaves too. All these people living there, they slaves, they poor. Debt slaves is what they see. That's what they want to call you, debt slaves. Or they had a contract, they can work off their contract. It's people that it was one brother that hit the lottery and paid his master off and got his freedom. Then came back and paid for his family. So, they don't want to tell you that part of slavery, that it was just as many Europeans slaved. They want to call it another system, but again, to make you think it's different, and it wasn't different. So, and that, brothers fought against Europeans in the South when they went the Battle of Bull Run. And this is something I wish I'd have copied, but it's out there, and I just have to look for it again. It shows you that there was a company or a battalion of all black troops that fought in the first Battle of Bull Run, and Northerners were surprised. And you can read accounts from the Union soldiers telling about how ferocious these black soldiers that surprised them. So they just want to tell you about one dude in Kansas that had a company of men. They don't want to tell you it was battalion-sized people that was fighting against the Northerners too, because we know that they were black slave owners. I mean, that's you know. So, well, that's enough for a history lesson. I'm gonna put in one divineness, and I want to say thank you now. I'll say it after. I'll let her go. But this is one divineness and joyful full moon. Let's see, uh, where is it? Am I not hearing? I must have it muted somewhere. Guess not. Uh, oh, huh. Got some kind of problem here. Oh, well, maybe we're not going to hear from her tonight. Something's muted, I think. Huh. Don't know why I'm not hearing it. Oh, well, I guess we're not going to hear it tonight because I'm not hearing it either. And I don't know why. Oh, well. Oh, well, I can basically do something else. I could pivot. I can just do my singing bowls and just do, yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll just do singing bowls and do a sound cleansing for those that want to participate. I'm sorry, I'm not understanding why I'm not hearing her. So I'm looking at it. Whoa, wow, I should hear her there. And I'm not transferring. Okay, that's all right. So that's what I'll do instead. I'll just do a sound cleansing. So hold on. Huh. Still don't understand why this is not playing. Why this is not playing, I still don't understand. Huh. Okay, I'll work with it later. I will work with it later, but I'll just do my own. So those of you that want to participate in the sound bath, kick back and dig. And I push out the Verge energy because what I'm about to do is the Verge is like a thunderbolt. Um, it can create and it can destroy, kind of like a Shiva energy. And so, I don't want anybody to say, this, they didn't know this energy is coming at them because this is what's in my singing bowl. Apatite. No, this is not apatite. Moss. I forget. I'm old man, but this is in it. And then you see the Verja inside the bowl. And that's what's coming out is the Verja. This is the Verja with the open ends. So you want the open ends coming out. So don't want anybody to think that I'm fooling them. That I've tried to fool them or anything. Argonite. This is blue argonite. See, it came back to me, the little hints. Blue argonite. They kind of go together. This thing is heavy. This thing is heavy. Uh, and I guess we can do just a mild meditation. And again, remember, it's all about breathing. It's all about breathing, all about your breath. Um, ah, this is danderite. So this has a lot of love energy in it, and it's mild. It's a mild zoolite. And so I'll bring my message out as I hold this damperite and send this damperite love energy out. And I don't know if it's love energy, it's heart energy. I guess that's the best way to put it. It's like a healing heart energy, kind of. So it's not a strong zoolite, but yet it holds that heart energy. And so as I hold this, and I just as I'll close my eyes with you, and I can't say I'm going to discourage you or encourage you to open your third eye. I'm not going to open mine because it's too much out there. But uh, if you can just find some peace and some breathing and just my suggestions, that's really all it is. It's just finding your part or your place, and just where you get into breathing and understanding that how your whole system is working and how it is really there to work for you. It's like, remember, your heart can never attack you. That is a spell they try to tell you, but your heart would never attack you. If you know your heart, it won't attack you. Now, can you put a lot of bullshit in your body and the veins and stuff clog up? Actually, yes. But if you take care of yourself, you try to eat the best you can do, and you tell your body, I am doing my best. I'm feeding you what I can afford to feed you, and I hope you treat me the best. And that's the only agreement you can do, is that you're doing your best for your body, that you can do, that you're giving your best, and you're trying your best. And when you eat some bullshit, you got to run it off or something. So you understand that. And so now I just ask you to take some cleansing breath. Just and just that release, just another cleansing breath. And I think something I am going to take from her that is really a good practice without trying to be evasive. And so something that the One Divineness says is really try to really picture a lotus flower, really project the lotus flower out into your consciousness. And what color the flower is, it depends on you. It depends on what your gases create. But you want to see this lotus flower. And what you want to do is you want to really see it like a 3D version of it. You want to be able to turn it left, turn it right, make it spin. I mean, you really want to, like a computer aided drafting. That's what you want to put right here in your consciousness. And that lotus remember, the lotus can only bloom when it's the full moon. So that's why we're asking it. I'm asking to picture that lotus flower. And picture that lotus flower. It is time for it to bloom. It is time for it to be 100% of what it's supposed to do. What it's supposed to, its purpose here is to bring out the beautifulness. And so I just ask you that you slowly go with your breaths. Slowly feel your breath. Slowly feel your heartbeat. Slowly feel your thoughts. Slowly feel your mind. The top of your head. Let's start at the top of our crown. Slowly feel that crown. And all the things and all the electricity that's going through. And then concentrate on your ears and what your ears really do and how your ears really help you balance, and something nobody thinks of. Get in here and see if your balance ain't messed up. But think of your ears and the balance. And then think what your eyes are. Remember that you can see without your eyes being open. That is what you have your third eye for. I mean, in the Matrix movie, he shows you that you can still see. Remember when he destroys the machines? He destroys the machines in the supposedly real world, because it was all just one world. And that's what this really is. It's all just one world. And so as we move on down, we feel our noses, deep breaths in, and what is your throat, your mouth, your tongue. We move on down to our neck area, and we feel everything that goes on, the muscles that it takes to keep our head up, everything that goes into being in our necks. We're We're feeling them right now. Then we're going to move down into our shoulders. And every little movement that it takes to make our shoulders help us articulate and move and lift, punch, grab, everything as we feel our fingers and our hands, the power that we have, that these are ours. We feel our arms, we feel our elbows, everything that's part of us that we may go. Then we move into our heart space. And what goes along with our heart space is a rhythm that's just always there, that we can just feel, that we can just count on. We can slow everything down and feel our heartbeat and know that it's there. It's beating for us. That you feel it, it beats strong. And it will never, know that your heart will never attack you. And then feel your lungs and feel how effortlessly they work. Feel how when you run, if for those of you who play basketball or jog, how your lungs just, they love it. The more you work out, the more they love it. The same as your heart. Feel your stomach and all the worlds that are in your stomach. They're just like, if you look at the many worlds that are in our stomach and the inner workings of our life, everything is in that area of our stomach. And we're thankful for what it does, and we try to nourish it the best way we can. And then we move down into our groin area, where our waist goes. But yet, it's funny, isn't it? The same area that gets rid of waste can give us so much pleasure and joy, and give us such a feeling of love and such a feeling of connection. Then we move down into our legs, our thighs, and all the moves, all the feeling that our hamstrings, all the things that our hamstrings allow us to do. Then we move down into our knees, and sometimes the world we're holding up with our knees. And all the things that these knees can jump high and make us dunk, jump high and catch a ball, kick a ball, be our base when we swing a bat, be our base just when we're just walking and being our true selves. And move down into our calves and the strength that it takes for our calves to hold up anything and everything. Just how we can flex and just make those three calf muscles just strengthen and weaken, strengthen and weaken. And then move down to where we're grounded the most, down to our feet, and all the nerves that go into our feet, and all the decisions that are made from our feet that we're thankful for. And then as we all become whole, we feel just everything and thankful that this is our vehicle, that this vehicle will, while we go to other worlds and we go into the ethers, to the astro, this machine will stay and keep working for us. While we expand our mind, this basic machine will keep working for us as it allows us to go into these different dimensions. The machine will stay there because remember, there's always, while you're alive, you always have a cord that connects us, and it is silver. That's one reason why wearing silver strengthens that cord. And so just be thankful, show gratitude, show the love. This is also a time of feminine. The moon is a feminine. Some people think it's masculine, but it can be when it brings in the tide. It pulls that tide in and then brings it right back. That is a masculine kind of effort. So it has a little bit of both. So let's sit here for a second and just really be thankful for everything that we have. Because even though we can have anything we want, we're thankful for what we do have. And what we do have is enough. I don't care about what anybody else has. I know what I have, and what I have is enough. And what you have is enough. So we're going to just be thankful and show gratitude and love for ourselves. Because you have to remember, we're doing this ourselves. Jimi Hendrix says, I'm the one that's died. I'm the one that's going to die when it's time for me to die. So it is you that you have to love. Because you can't love, you can't give out love if you don't love yourself first. It almost be like hitting a wall because you can't receive. And that's what the people who sometimes don't understand. You can give out all the love, but you have to have your heart open enough to receive that love as well. So as we sit here and we gather ourselves and we're thankful, I just want to say thank you for making this channel go. I don't do as much as I used to. Don't have a whole lot to say anymore. But I try to say a little bit, you know. And you know how I look at the full moon. So I'll get it together next month and bring the one divineness in. If I can get it to work tomorrow, I might bring it on because, again, it's 4 days before, 4 days after. I didn't mess with it. It should have worked. I got something turned off. I don't know. But I hope you appreciate the sound bath because people charge for that stuff. And I don't. As you know, my model is I give freely. And so if that took any relief off anybody, um, I hope it did. And so I'm gonna close it here. Thank you very much. What time is it? It's going on 1. I ain't gotta get up early. But thank you everybody. And definitely who sees it right now.